Welcome,
Hey there.
everybody.
Welcome. There's always something that happens just before.
I know.
Yeah.
Every time we say we're ready, and then we don't have our mics in our
We
hand.
should do like a release of the behind the scenes footage of what happens here. Can you? Hey y'all, welcome to Tea Time Thursday. We are here to check in. How did you do that so fast? We're here to check in, see what's up. We are glad to be together. Sonia, we see you. You're so faithful to be here every week. It's good to see you and be seen. And so, yeah, how's it going, Leisha?
It's another beautiful day.
It's another beautiful day. Yeah.
I think it's warmer outside than it is in this room.
I had a very weird experience. Just had a meeting in the fellowship hall. I walked in there. The heat was on.
Oh, because it was under a certain age.
What is up with that?
Because it's set for after a certain temperature, it comes on.
No, Florida, we don't do the heat. You know,
No,
cold is a rare and precious resource.
So while I shiver and talk to you,
exactly. like you just deal.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah. Although I think it's warming up again. It's gonna get hot as it does here. And
Sunday gets cold again.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Like 60s again Sunday.
I'm excited. I love it. So So anyway. It's good to be together. Hey, Joyce. We're talking about just what's going on as well as what is about to happen, meaning Sunday. So we're in the middle of our Overflow series, and this Sunday, I got it out of order. This Sunday is Embrace Change. I love those two words together. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't that the last thing we want to do?
Yes.
I don't want to give Change a big old hug.
No.
I don't want to wrap it up. You know, like, I mean, when you think about embracing, it's a full, it's a frontal facing.
Right.
Right. And it's a drawing closer.
Right.
There's a vulnerability to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I do not like change.
You know, and then there's like, I mean, you're like you're wrapping yourself around whomever or whatever you're embracing. And I mean, and we're not just talking about quick side hug. I mean, an embrace, like you hang out there for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was, praying and thinking about what direction are we going, and these two words came together, which is, I think, a common phrase. It's not like I just made that up. Like, no. I've heard embrace change. I don't know how many times. But it's the first time I really sat and thought about it. I didn't like it, which is why we stuck with it. It's hard.
So you didn't like it, and that's why we stuck with it?
Exactly. Yes.
Because you have to get out of your comfort zone?
So,
like we all do?
Alicia Clementine, what you'll find in ministry is that a lot of what motivates the planning is, I mean, just where I am in my journey too, and as much as I had a guy in seminary, oh man, I loved him. He and I, we were in Hebrew together, and I lived like an hour and a half, maybe actually no, like 2 hours away from seminary. And so all our classes were on Tuesdays. So come Monday, I'd go to this guy's house and stay with him and his wife. They'd feed me, and then in the morning we would go to seminary together. And so I got to know him over that semester. And one of the things that he said that still lives with me is he felt this call to be an agent of change. Right. And when you're in seminary and you're learning all this stuff and you're like reevaluating your whole life in terms of faith and what you used to just lock into as this is true. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Man, I leaned into that. I was like, yeah, that's me, an agent of change. And I've felt that at every church and other ministry contexts that I've served, but I've also become more and more aware of, man, I don't like it.
Yeah. I don't like change either.
And you've worked with me well enough to know I like a routine. If something changes on me, I'll forget. Like we've made a plan and then I'll forget. I really much change. It is. It really is hard. Why is it so hard, Alicia?
I think for me, change is hard because it's the unknown, right? So if I'm still doing my same routine every day, I know what's going to happen. For me, when you change my routine up, and I'm just using that as an example, right? But when I change my routine up, I'm like, well, what could happen?
That's yeah.
I mean, that's just
I mean, there's the what's that? There's the illusion of control over the outcome, right?
yeah,
I mean, if you do it the same way you've always done it, then then it's always going to happen the way it's supposed to happen,
right.
right? Which you never really are in control of the outcomes.
No, I mean things can happen anyways, but
Yeah. Pipes could burst, right? You should probably check your house.
no, don't say that.
Oh yeah, nope. Yeah. So there's something about I want an outcome to happen a certain way, and I learned the ways to make that happen, and I don't want to change that. Do you ever do the thing? Oh yeah, I was at a conference last week, right? And it was just a 2-day conference, and the conference main space was just a church with chairs, right? It wasn't at all. It's not like there was tables or anything like that. But you walk in for the first time and you assess and you locate yourself, and then that's where you stay for the rest of the conference. Do you do that?
I don't feel like we did that at the last conference. I don't think we
but
did
I wonder
that.
if that was because it was so. No, we kept trying to improve our position, didn't we?
Yes,
Yeah.
because
But
we
it was
were
a
like
massive amphitheater. Like what? Thousands of
Yeah.
people in there?
yeah. By the end, we were closer to the front on the floor.
Yeah.
It was
No,
so great.
We had figured it out. But in general, I found at this particular conference, like I that's where I stayed. I just I got my spot, stayed here.
Yeah, I mean, I park in the same parking spot every day.
You do. Don't ever bark in it. You're mean about it.
I am not. Only to you, because you know better.
Yeah, but then here's the reason why I felt even though I don't like this, and I'm honestly I get a little nervous when I feel God lead me to these kinds of sermons because nobody likes it. I mean, if we really just sit back, nothing really ever stays the same. Even things that feel like they do. I mean, there is constant change all around us.
All the time.
Like and you've had a couple of big events just happen in your family that
Yeah.
that you're living into, and it's just everywhere, and I think that's partly why we try to work even harder to, can I at least hold on to this?
Yeah.
I can't change what so-and-so did or didn't do, but at least I can always get up at 8:00 and butter my toast or whatever you do.
Not if you're out of butter or toast.
But you got to see, but that's the thing. Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing. If that's your commitment, then that's part of it. Then you work hard to make sure that you do that, which, maybe that's partly why change is so difficult, because it's not just the one thing that changes. I mean, it's everything else, right? Like if someone parks in your spot, it doesn't just affect the moment when you arrive and then get out of your car, right? I mean, it changes your attitude for a moment. Not at all. She's so great. But every time you go out to your car or look out your window, you're reminded of it. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just making all this up, right? But it's those kinds of things where it just has layers and layers and layers of impacts. Like everything we do is embedded. Like I don't do the choices that I make in the morning, even though I follow this routine. There's like 20 things that inform that particular choice that now I don't have to think about because this is my routine. And when it gets off kilter, all those things suddenly show up, right? And then others. So we're wandering around now. So I guess what I'm curious about is when is change good, right? I love the idea of a chameleon. This is I think it's a panther chameleon. Anyone know? Sonia, you know your chameleons. So right, they change to suit their environment. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or they, I should have done a cuttlefish. Or they change to suit their mood or, whatever's going on. When you talk about people and you call someone a chameleon, is it a good thing?
No.
Why not?
Because they change depending on who they're around, right?
I mean, that's usually what we mean, right?
And so it feels fake.
Yeah.
Right?
Who is this person really?
Right.
Right.
The unknown.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, like I don't know who you really are and
Yeah.
what you're going to do. Can I trust you
Right.
with whatever it is So, right. But people change all the time.
I know. And so we just have to trust that God has a plan and that we are following his plan.
Do you believe that?
I think that's hard, right?
That's it right there.
That's
it
the
right
hard
there.
part.
Of course you believe that.
Yes.
I think most of us do.
Or at least want to believe that.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, at
Right?
least want to believe that. Isn't that what faith is like?
Yes.
You know, I mean, I think there's a passage that talks about faith is an assurance of things unseen, which I have a hard time. That's Hebrews, maybe even Hebrews 1. I struggle with that. You know, when I think of faith, I really come to those hard places where I don't know I don't have an assurance of what's going to happen. And I want to locate my assurance in not necessarily what I think God's going to do, right? But who God actually is.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about this too, like how far can you trust people? Because people are people, and even the most loyal people can make mistakes, can get sick, can find their own crisis that then changes all their choices that they have to. I mean, all that stuff happens. It doesn't mean that these people are bad people. So our trust we always need to push it up to the one who is absolutely reliable.
Yeah. Well, and
I've not been
can you
reading
see
comments. Yeah.
I can't agree more, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's exactly it, right?
Right.
Like, I'm so set in my ways that change is really hard for me. I agree. Change is really hard for me as well. But I find myself having to accept change because it's easy. Feel like it's easier if I gave you an example, but like, so I have things set up for a event, right? So I have all this stuff set up for an event, and
there's a dog under the table.
Oh my gosh! And I have a volunteer that walks in.
Speaking of change.
Yeah. Hi, Gabby.
Come on, Gabs.
An event, and I have a volunteer that walks in, and she's like, "Listen, I think this would be so much better if we did it like this, this, and this." Well, if I don't allow her to be part of that, be part of the event, be part of the joy we're bringing to people, then I'm stealing her joy.
Yeah,
so,
but you've got it planned out.
Yeah,
for a reason.
Yeah, but you have to be somewhat open to change. I've had to learn that in the last couple of years because, listen, if it was planned, it is what is happening. But I can't do that because I'm hurting others, and I'm not doing what God is really wanting me to do by bringing people and getting them involved. He's not wanting me to come and just set a plan and make it happen. He's wanting me to get these people involved so they can feel the happiness and joy and all the same stuff that I'm feeling, so I can share it with them and share it with our community.
You know what, Alicia, I think you just hit it right on the spot where we need to land because, you know, we've had a lot of talks about stuff like that because our jobs are ministry-oriented jobs. And one of the temptations is just what you're talking about, right? We make these plans, whether it's a worship service, a youth event, an outreach, whatever it is. And we make these plans purposefully. We learn from mistakes or things that went great, and so it's a real temptation to focus on executing the plan.
Yeah.
We did this on purpose, right? But the work is never the program.
Right.
The work is always the people.
Yeah.
And so you and I talk about that, but it occurs to me that, that's really true for all of us.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think a lot of times the invitation, perhaps this is why there is so much change in the world, because it's a reminder of, what are we really looking to accomplish? And it really is the growth of God's family.
Yeah.
It's the healing of the human heart. And to really do that for ourselves and for those closest to us, change is required.
Yeah.
You don't do it without change. So that's a great place to land. Thanks for taking us there. Embrace change. Come on this Sunday, and we'll learn a little bit more about that. So our schedule is the same for this week, right? We've got services Sunday, youth Friday, or youth Sunday.
Yep. Youth is a little different, but
youth is a little different. Yeah, you guys are actually going to go to one of the youth games. Like, how exciting is that?
Yeah, we concentrated a lot this year planning our schedule to try and make it to something of everybody's.
Yeah. So you got soccer games, dance recitals.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's
track
exciting.
meets.
Yeah. I love it. It's us learning to be family. You know, it's great. So youth will be a little bit different, but your youth families know. If you have questions about that, come on out or contact us. Don't come here. Contact us.
Right.
Don't waste your time. It's a phone call. The other thing is, again, we don't have Bible study. Tonight is our dream meeting. Super excited about that. So hopefully you've been getting the emails and the notices about that. We are also going to send out another church-wide notice. If you are at a distance, it'll be hard to participate through Zoom, but you can at least be present in that way. And part of why we're sending out the emails to the whole list is so that folks who can't be present, in fact, we just got some today. People aren't going to be there, but they've sent us some of their input. At the very least, if you just can't, be here or be present online, send that in, and also be praying for us. I'm really excited about what God's going to kind of bubble up as we dream together.
Me too.
And then next week, we're doing something a little bit new. We're doing our Friday Fireside. So if you're local, come on out to the field. We're going to have a fire. We're going to tell stories. We're going to have s'mores. I really think we should do hot dogs on a stick.
Maybe the following week. S'mores are this week. Or next week, sorry.
Right, the next month, yeah.
Yeah.
But man, whatever we're doing, when all the change that surrounds us, God is constant. God's love is constant, and it really provides, that's what we're embracing, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should change the title. Anyway, we love you. Stay close, stay safe. We'll see you soon.
Have a great week.